Hi guys, it's Amy. Welcome to Strength Reversed. I am at the beach today in St. Augustine, Florida, and I have a Titanic Tarot spread to share with you. And I'm going to use my Titanic Tarot Deck to do this spread. It's a spread that you can use for shadow work, and it's a good spread to explore the depths. So here is the Titanic Tarot spread, a spread for exploring the depths and one that is good for shadow work. The first card is the ship, and the ship is you right now, the vessel that is floating on top of your unconscious. I always like to start tarot spreads with kind of a snapshot, and I got the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups, I'm looking at this and I see someone who is paralyzed. There are options, but this person is stuck. There's not a lot of movement. There's something keeping him from accepting any of those options. And to me, I can identify with where I am right now in my life. I have just some old patterns, some old fears that keep popping up and that have popped up pretty frequently over the years, and that I haven't really dealt with, and it kind of keeps me from embracing any of these cups. I wonder what I should do or what's the safest path, and so I end up not really doing anything. Card number 2 is the iceberg, and the iceberg is the conflict or the issue that is trying to sink you. And this is the Five of Wands. And this is that old pattern. This, I think, is my anxiety, my worries, all of that energy that is not directed anywhere, and so it's not being used effectively. There are a lot of inner conflicts that my anxiety causes and has always caused me. And there's some sort of, this is the aspect of myself that's wreaks havoc. It kind of causes a lot of problems, and there's not a lot of harmony inside. It's like a busyness of not just my mind, but my feelings, my emotions getting caught up in something that is not maybe rational. I have a very old fear that was the source of anxiety and all of my panic attacks when I was in my late teens and into my 20s, and it's somehow tied up in severe claustrophobia, and I've just avoided dealing with that for many years, and that keeps coming up lately, so I think it might be time. Oh no, I might have to face it. Card number 3, and you can lay these out in any order that you want, or in any fashion, any form or fashion. Card number 3 are the waves. And if you think about waves repeating, they're almost mesmerizing. It's habitual. These are the habitual, repetitive patterns that erode at the shoreline. They kind of knock you over, or what am I trying to say here? They're how all of this stuff is manifesting in your life that kind of chip away at you little by little. And this is the only major card in this spread, and so I know this is happening at a symbolic level, so it's really big. And when I see the Hierophant, to me, even though this is a little bit creepy, it's one of the less scary Hierophants, I guess because I read the guidebook and found out who this person was. He actually did not leave the ship. He stayed and helped a lot of people into lifeboats and refused to leave himself. But this idea of authority and personal authority has come up. I have this old, back to when I was a Catholic schoolgirl, this need to please people in authority. If my teachers had looked at me sideways, I would have burst into tears. I want my boss to think I'm a good employee and good at my job. And so I have this old way of looking to others to see if I'm doing it right. I'm also an only child, and I think a lot of my friends who had siblings had someone to bounce ideas off of, or had someone to look to say, is this normal? But I didn't. I just had to figure it out for myself, and so I many times cared a little too much about other people's opinions, or waited for other people to approve of what I was doing, or tell me that it was normal or it was okay for me to do something or feel a certain way. And I'm learning as I get older that it's not anyone else's responsibility to validate your experience. You can live however you want to, but it's not anyone else's job to tell you that that's okay. And so this idea of honoring my personal authority and my personal power has come up over and over again. And when I deny that, that leads to that erosion of my firm foundation. Card number 4 is the deep. And I'm calling it the deep because it's what's way down under there. I think this card actually came up reversed, and there are 3 reversed cards in this reading. The last 3 cards are reversed. This is the second time I'm having to record this, so you know how YouTube goes. When you're in the ocean and you can't see what's under there, but you feel it brush against your leg and it weirds you out? That's what this is. It kind of freaks you out a little bit and keeps getting your attention. It's way down under there. This is the underlying issue. So it might manifest as not trusting myself, or I might have some sort of conflict come up, but this is the real issue. And for me, this card is that lack of security. Just feel, when I dealt with anxiety, my anxiety disorder, and with panic attacks, the world just seemed like a terrifying place. And I thought, this is not a safe place to be. It's not safe to be in this body. It's not safe to trust anything. And that in turn fed my anxiety. So it was this vicious cycle. And so this belief that the world isn't safe, or that I can't trust the process of life, that's a big one. And that's part of where my channel name comes from, because to me, strength is that trusting and letting go and inner strength. And when it's reversed, that is even magnified. And that is a a lifelong lesson. That's something I'm going to be working on forever. Hopefully not in the next life. Let's knock it out in this life. Card number 5, which would be right here, is the lifeboat. And the lifeboat is a specific action that we could take that kind of rescues us from this problem or from the pattern and brings us safely back to shore. It's not a way to not have to explore the deep parts, but it's something we can do to not have to stay in the deep parts. And I would imagine the experience of having to board a lifeboat and have it lowered into the water, that requires a whole lot of trust to go through that process. That cannot possibly be a pleasant experience. And the lifeboat, again, is not a way to avoid it or make it less unpleasant. It's just something that we have to do to get to the other side. You have to go through that scary experience. And this is the Three of Wands reversed. Now, the Three of Wands, in the guidebook for the Titanic Tarot, it talks about someone swimming, grabbing the wands and swimming to the surface, but it's reversed. And so I feel like my lifeboat is actually going to require me to swim deeper and to go a little deeper and really get down to what's lying on the treasure lying at the bottom of the ocean. Oh geez. I'm gonna have to confront that shadow. It might be dramatic. It might be terrifying. But I think I've got these wands to help me. And the last card, card number 6, is the shore. And this is where you want to be, right? You want your feet on terra firma. It's the safe harbor. And this might be the possible outcome of confronting the shadow, or what confronting the shadow might look like. And for me, it's the Three of Swords reversed. And I noticed, after looking at this card several times, there's the Coeur de la Mer, the heart of the ocean. And I started thinking about that necklace, and I thought, you know what? At the end of the movie, the Titanic movie, she throws it into the ocean. Like she's done with it. And the necklace was heavy. She said it was a big, old, heavy thing that, you know, weighed her down, and it was kind of brought a lot of bad luck. It caused a lot of problems, and it looks really pretty. It's almost like the Devil card. It looks really pretty. It looks like something you might really want to own, but there was something not good about it, and she finally threw it away. So I feel like if I don't face this and finally deal with it, I'm just always going to be stuck. And so possibly this card could be, if I let this thing go and I quit chasing it, a little bit of freedom, right? Because then I might be able to, I have these swords, and these definitely could represent thoughts or beliefs weighing me down and pulling me down to the bottom. And I would really like to not be carried to the bottom of the depths of the ocean. So I think I have to feel the fear but not get stuck in it. You know, there's a difference between what you think you want and what's the best thing for you. And I think, you know, that thing that I think I want might not be so pretty after all. I need to let go of hoping for a certain outcome. You know, the necklace was just bad juju, and so I think it's time to let go of, you know, what I think is perfect and do this work, because I kind of want to, you know, follow that up to the surface, to freedom. Woo! Well, let me know if you guys try this spread. Yeah, Titanic Tarot. I can see right now that this deck is going to probably lend itself more to shadow work or things that are very introspective, to the unconscious, to deep questions. I don't really see this deck lending itself to, like, is he gonna call me kind of questions, because it would almost insult this deck. I don't know, it's just, it's very watery and very deep. And water is all about the unconscious and about feelings and emotions and change, heavy duty stuff. Thanks for joining me, guys, for the Titanic Tarot spread. Let me know if you use it and how it works out. I will see you next time. Be sure to like or subscribe. Bye.